Come one, come all to this tragic affair. For today, it is time for another book club on So You Think You Can Fanon, the only podcast on the internet that does 2 book clubs in a month, but doesn't release either of them when they say they would.
I thought you were just going to end it as the only book club podcast
The only
on
book
the
club
internet.
podcast on the internet, period.
I thought you were just
am
going to say the
Jake.
only podcast.
The only podcast
The
on
only
the
podcast.
internet.
The only podcast, period.
The
I'm Jake.
only,
I'm with
period.
the only. The. I'm here with Bert. Sergio's back. Sergio impressed us so much in the last book club that we forced him at gunpoint. He's in my basement now. Say hi, Sergio.
Hello.
Wow.
And as alluded to last time,
yes,
we
a
have
special guest.
Jonathan Saxington.
Hello. I'm here.
Yeah, you are.
Also in Jake's basement.
We're all in Jake's basement.
Please let us out.
So
What
true.
did we read while we were stuck in Jake's basement to pass the time?
Well,
Watchmen.
I noticed you guys busted into my old boxes of comics and pulled out Watchmen. All 3 copies I own.
All 3
we all got our own
compendiums.
individual copies. You might be keeping us in your basement, but at least you're being
And
nice
then
about it.
and then I read it online.
I also do own the comic, but I read it online.
What?
I got it from the library.
I also got it from the librry. AKA Jake's basement.
Yeah,
The library that Dick has in his
library
basement.
that I have in my basement. I mean, I own so many books. That's probably not inaccurate. Sergio basically has a library shelf in his basement of his books and the Judge Judy books.
What?
I'm not going to elaborate. If Sergio's not going to elaborate on it, I'm not going to.
You know, I need time
What?
to open my mouth, right? There's a Judge Judy book that one of my parents own that's on my bookshelf.
There's multiple. There's more than one. Let's be clear.
There's more than one. What
Sergio
are they
is a
about?
huge fan of Judge Judy.
Judge Judy.
You never read them out of curiosity?
No.
Dude, I'd be all over that shit. I'd be like, what do my parents get up to?
All
What kind
right.
of books do they read?
No more hooting and hollering, guys. We read
Mhm.
Watchmen. So I'm going to do the preliminary preamble about Watchmen.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, tell me.
So, everyone here, do you know the history of this book?
I do.
Not at all. Not even a little
Vaguely?
bit.
Okay, so a long time ago, there was a man born in the Britain named Alan Moore, and Alan Moore holds a title in the world. Alan Moore is the greatest hater known to man.
Of what?
Of adaptations.
Of everything relating to the things he makes.
Okay.
So let's go back in time to the 80s. Alan Moore worked for Marvel. Got done dirty by them. Switched to DC. Started writing for DC. Wrote a couple of books. V for Vendetta. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I know Shaun has. He's
Never.
talking about it. I mean, there's some people who don't. I don't know if that's sarcastic or not.
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay, just making sure. He wrote V for Vendetta. He wrote The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is a
my gosh.
little more obscure. He wrote Marvel Man, Miracle Man, the DC book, reboot of it, which that inspired the return of Shazam into the comic sphere. He wrote a lot of stuff. All that you need to know is that he wrote a lot of stuff. He was
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, Swamp Thing. Unironically, goated comic book. Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Highly recommended. Because, Swamp Thing's kind of a glub shitto.
But he's great.
But he's great, and he has one of the best comic books of all time. So, Alan Moore, big British guy, writing for DC. Here's about Charleston Comics, which is an obscure British ? I'm pretty sure they're British. Comic publisher that was going bankrupt and was being bought by DC. And so he decided, I want to write a book using all of these new characters that we own by the Charleston Comics and create like a deconstruction parody of superhero comics called The Watchmen. And so he took a couple of characters. You may have even heard of these characters because they're actually pretty popular now. Characters like Captain Atom, The Question, Peacemaker, the Blue Beetle, and a few others. And he made them the protagonists of this story that he wrote. And then DC comes in and they're like, "Hey, we like your story, but we're kind of like doing this thing called the Crisis of Infinite Earths where we kind of get rid of all our non-canon continuities and putting them into the main universe. So all these characters are going to like exist in the main DC universe. So we can't do that. So if you want, you can just make your own characters and publish it that way." And Alan Moore was like, "Fucking yeah, well fine, whatever. I don't fucking care." And so he did. And so Peacemaker became the comedian. And Ozymandias came from Thunderbolt. The Blue Beetle became Night Owl. The Question became Rorschach, so on and so forth. And Watchmen was released into the world at some point in the 80s. 86. 1986 is the year. As a limited run. It was only supposed to be published once as a limited series, and then the rights would revert back to Alan Moore. However, as you may know by the fact that you read it, it got kind of popular. And so it sold a shit ton. And by the time it was done, DC kind of came up to Alan Moore and was like, "Hey, I know we said you get the rights back when you were done printing it, but can we like print it again? Because it's selling really well." And he was like, "Yeah, all right, that's fine." And so they did it again. And then they did it again. And then they did it again. To the point where Alan Moore had to sue DC over the rights to Watchmen and then lost the court case. And so basically he just got his like greatest creation, most popular creation, dare I say, stolen from him by DC. And at this point, Alan Moore has become a bitter old wizard because he's a wizard. That's just a thing. So, you know, fast forward a bit to like the early 2000s, and a lot of movies are coming out. You know, we got a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie. We got a Watchmen movie. We got, you know, a whole bunch of movies that are adaptations of Alan Moore's work. And people would come up to him and be like, "Hey, Alan Moore, what are your thoughts on the V for Vendetta movie?" And he would go, "Don't go see it. I don't care about it. I don't think it needs to exist. It fucking sucks. I don't give a shit. They should give me my money." Which is how he became the greatest hater in all of time.
Oh my gosh.
Of every single piece of media that Alan Moore has ever created for like DC or Marvel or what have you, if it's gotten an adaptation, like live action or animated or otherwise, he has told people not to go see it or watch it, whether it be Watchmen, the Zack Snyder film, or the TV show, or the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or V for Vendetta. He tells people not to watch it, except for the one episode of Justice League Unlimited that he has been a part of. And we're back. We had a bit of a hiccup, but we should be good now, as long as somebody closed City Skylines
I'm opening it
on their
again.
computer.
I'm trying it again, just because you did this. My
And
addiction
yeah,
needs
so
to be fueled.
You better not.
now that
I
we
am.
spent 10
I'm going to do it. I'm going to plan a city right now. I swear to God.
now that we spent 10 minutes, talking about the background, we are going to talk about the actual comic.
Yes, let's get those questions started up.
So, first of all, everybody liked it?
Yes.
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 Give it a ballpark score.
Out of 10?
Yeah, sure.
I would say, let's say 7.
I would
Seven?
say 7.
I would
Actually,
give
that's
it-
pretty accurate to me.
I would give it a 9.
Really? Those are some low scores.
That's not low.
I don't
7?
think 7 is low at all. 5 is
For one
like
of the-
average to me.
For
Yes,
one of the
5.
best-selling comics of all time, I feel
Okay,
like a 7 is pretty low.
I have thoughts, okay? I have thoughts.
Okay, I respect that. I respect
That's my
that.
thoughts.
Okay, I will say, it would be a 9 if we cut out, like, the third middle part of it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Okay.
Like,
I
it's
respect
the
that.
middle that really dragged for me.
All
It
right.
would
But
be a
I
9
like
for
the
me if you
beginning
cut
and
out
the
a whole
end.
lot of other stuff. So drag for me
Mhm.
very often.
It's
We'll
slow.
all talk about that.
British media is very slow burn, and this is British media. So
I had no idea
understand
he
that.
was British, so I
Well,
just thought he was boring at times.
Well, that's just
And because of
yeah.
that, my rating is going down to a 6. I hate British people.
Damn. So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna ask the questions. I'm gonna give the order of me, Bertram, because we're the two
Yes.
book club hosts. Then Sergio, then Shaun. Does
Saving
that
the
work for
best
you
for
guys?
last.
Sounds
I was
good.
gonna say we're doing it by alphabetical order.
Fair
Let's
enough.
relax.
Because that is technically the alphabetical order for all
Yes,
our
it
names.
is.
Me, you, Serge, Shaun.
Yeah, it is.
Correct.
Damn.
So, do you guys have a favorite character? I will say my favorite character. I really like. I like to hate the comedian because he's a terrible person. And I really like Ozymandias. Also, before we go any further, if you don't know how we do this, Shaun, we're gonna do this is the non-spoiler section, and then there's the
Yes.
spoiler section that we'll do
Oh,
in
okay.
like a second recording, so we can put an ad in between two halves.
I'm very happy you said that now because I was totally ready
Yes.
to spoil everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
please
that's
don't
what I was
spoil
thinking. I was like, he's gonna spoil fucking everything if I don't tell him. All right, I really like Ozymandias.
Okay.
And just his arc is interesting. And Rorschach is one of the most iconic comic book characters of all time. Like, I can't not say I like Rorschach because he's fucking cool. Even though he's not supposed to be cool, he's cool. Bert?
Fair enough. My two favorites are Dr. Manhattan and Night Owl.
Night Owl 2, technically. If we want to be
Night Owl
technical.
2, yes.
I wanna be
Night Owl
technical.
the second.
Based on Ted Cord, the Blue
Dan
Beetle
the
2.
Night Owl.
Yes. All right, Sergio?
Rorschach. I can fix him. I can. I swear.
Sergio's gonna
Here's
fuck Rorschach.
Here's the issue. Alan Moore's like, you're not supposed to like Rorschach. And I get it. He's sexist. He's homophobic. But then he
had
says
a
a
hard
slur,
freaking life.
and then he sets a pedophile on fire. How am I
Truth.
supposed to hate him?
Truth.
Yeah, man. He's my hero.
Yeah, man. What about you, Shaun?
I like Rorschach because he's sexist and homophobic. Like I am.
Of course. Shaun sexism and Shaun racism and Shaun
We're both here
homophobia are all here.
Yes.
The three brothers.
today. Well, I didn't say anything about being racist.
Well, it's
That's
Watchmen.
Rico.
I feel like
That's
it's
too
Watchmen.
far.
It's kind of implied.
Yeah, probably. I
The
wouldn't
things
be
that the
surprised.
comedian does, especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
Actually, though, it is actually Rorschach. He's definitely my favorite character. Every time he was on screen, I was always like instantly entertained. I love the way he speaks. I like his design a lot. I think it's very cool. I love the therapy sections. There's a lot that I like about him that I won't say that much more because I don't want to spoil things. But he's very cool. I like this character a lot. He was always very entertaining. I also like his journal.
Yeah. And now on the other side of the coin, do you have a least favorite character? I'm going to also mention the comedian. Because the comedian is a fucking terrible person.
Yes, I agree.
Really, any scene that he's being an antagonistic force is pulled together by just how awful he is.
That's true.
He's my least favorite too. Same thing.
I'm a certified Ozymandias hater. But I'll go fucking I also despise the comedian. I despise him more in the comic than I did the movie, because in the movie he's being played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and like you can't help but love that man.
Yeah,
that's a really good casting choice.
I will rant about the movie. Worry not, because I have words about. Sergio knows I have words about the movie. But you know, I do have words about the movie. Anyways,
I have to say, definitely agree with the comedian. I really didn't like him, honestly. I think his character could have been good, but I honestly feel like I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed in the end.
I feel like he kind of has to be just a stupid piece of shit.
I agree with that, but I kind of wish there was like. I don't know. I don't want to get into spoiler territory.
You want the redemption arc? Is that what you want?
No, that's not it. I don't want to get into spoiler territory though, because I don't want to tell people like what is and isn't there. You know. I don't like his arc. I should say that.
I was gonna give a shout out to my homie Hooded Justice, but then he turned out to be a Nazi, so I can't stand Hooded Justice. But I can at least give him props for being the shit out of the comedian. The Watchmen TV show made him black, which makes me think that they didn't read the comic.
That is. It's an interesting concept, I will say. I talk about a lot how I refuse to watch the TV show because, you know, anything for you, Sir Lord Alan Moore, I will do what you tell me and not watch it. But like the idea of making a character like that associated with police brutality, like a black man who escaped the Tulsa race riots, was an interesting concept. It just doesn't really make sense because, like, I think before Watchmen, like, retcons that there's like 2 or 3 hooded justices, which is how the one in the TV show works, like in the canon. But that doesn't really make, I don't know. It's overly complicated for no reason. Yeah, you know.
I've not seen the movie, so
the movie. It's a Zack Snyder film. If that tells you anything about how it is.
Nope.
Have you ever seen Batman v Superman?
Yes. I did not like it.
Same director.
Watchmen is better though. This was like Zack Snyder right off of 300.
I guess I can't say that that Batman v Superman is better than Watchmen, so I have to agree. However, I dislike them both very immensely, and I don't want to say one's better than the other because they both suck. Kai, did you say your least favorite character?
Comedian. Comedian all the way. I don't like him. I hate everything he stands for.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, that's kind of the point.
No, that's literally the point. Like, good job, Alan Moore, in making him horrible.
My favorite moment, without giving too many spoilers, is literally the first page.
Okay.
Literally, the first page is just so. It's just so cool.
What's your favorite moment?
The fucking the like 9-page zoom out or the 9-panel zoom out that's used in like classic comics, juxtaposed with the like gritty, like overly graphic scenery of the blood splatter left by the comedian.
You can spoil the first page, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, the first chapter, like the first issue is like all the comedian's dead, so it's not really a spoil. It's like the first thing you see.
Yes,
Like,
quite literally.
Plus Rorschach's journal, plus a little spoiler. Sergio, I need you to censor this sentence for the non-spoiler section, please.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
I can do that.
Do you want me to write down the timestamp? It's like 11 minutes. Or you can flag it.
Yeah, I can.
Right? Yeah. So, if you look on panel 3, Rorschach's right there. With the end is nice sign.
Oh, I spotted that.
Well, you spotted that. But you
saw
knew.
that.
I did not.
Yeah. People usually don't. And that's how he gets there so quick to investigate the crime scene. But yeah, you can. That's the end of the censorship part. You don't need to censor anything else out after that.
I feel like you don't need to really censor that.
It's a spoiler.
No, I feel like you do. That's a pretty big spoiler.
Because
it's kind of like it's a big reveal when you realize like that guy is that guy, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, that's my least favorite, or not least. That's my favorite moment.
Your favorite moment.
Just my least favorite moment.
The opening of Watchmen is phenomenal. There's a reason that the first issue of Watchmen sold like 1 more billion copies. And I'm gonna give a second shout out to the scene where Rorschach eats beans.
Yes.
Mostly because I have it pulled up on my screen right now. It's just the comedian's little bloodstained smile and fucking Rorschach eating beans. And the fucking guy saying, what's this little stain? Is that bean juice? Fucking bean juice. What about you, Kai? What's your favorite moment from non-spoilery moment?
I have a couple. Like you, I like literally the first page and literally the last page.
Oh, the ending. I was also meant just the ending of this. Without obviously, I'm not going to say what it is, but the ending of Watchmen is so good.
Yes, and my other favorite part is literally like the last 2 issues.
Oh my god,
really good.
Yeah.
They had me hooked when I read them literally today.
It's so good, dude.
I was on my lunch break and I was like, holy shit, man. And then my coworker walked by and was like, is that Watchmen? And I was like, hell yeah, it's Watchmen. Anyway, so yeah, last 2 issues, but I can't say literally anything without spoiling.
We'll get into it. We'll gush. What about Sergio?
I would say the flashback where we see how like when Rorschach became like Rorschach.
Yeah.
Very based. That whole prison scene, that whole prison section with Rorschach is just based all around. He was
that was good.
The legendary quote, "I'm not stuck in here with you.
Yes.
You're stuck in here with me." I will hate on the movie as much as I damn well can, but Jesus fucking Christ, if they didn't make that so cool in the movie.
That was
it's awesome. I'll send you the clip from the movie, Shaun, because you've never seen it. It's the guy who plays Rorschach in the movie, phenomenal. He's Freddy Krueger in the rebooted what's the fucking movie? Nightmare on Elm Street. I almost said Friday the 13th and Halloween. Neither of which are the correct answer. Both of which have also been rebooted, though.
I would have to say my favorite moment. Honestly, all of my favorite moments, I feel like if I describe them, they're kind of massive spoilers for like, because they are like big moments that are kind of not really reveals, but they're just big moments. One that isn't a spoiler. Honestly, I like the scene a lot where John is with the comedian, and the comedian like just kills someone, and John doesn't stop it.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was something real interesting about that.
Yeah,
for me.
the
That
scene
really
where
got
the
me interested in
comedian-
John's character.
The comedian is like, you didn't want me to kill her. You could have done anything to prevent me from killing her, and you didn't. So who's the problem here? Me
Exactly.
for shooting the pregnant woman, or you for letting me?
Yeah, I don't know. That was really
It's a
interesting.
little
'cause he
flawed,
totally,
but like, yeah.
he totally could have stopped it like so easily. It was interesting to me.
Mhm.
Like got me interested in John as a character in general.
Dr. Manhattan is he's phenomenal. He's so
That's
cool.
why he's my favorite.
He's
Well,
so
one of my
interesting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Least favorite moment?
Any of the like black freighter / the two dudes at the newspaper, that
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
I just kind of flipped through, not flipped through it because I was scrolled through it. I was like, this is not important. I can just like skim.
Oh, it was such
Those
a
were
slog.
so hard to get through. They like every time it was the newspaper, dude. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I put that book
was
down.
honestly like that took my rating down like at least 1 point.
Yes,
like, that was terrible.
It's a least favorite on purpose. Like, it's supposed to be an awful scene, but the rape scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no, that's bad.
It's bad. Like, it's not super like sexually graphic, but there's a lot of like beating women. Hold on.
Any of the violence against women, those are the worst parts.
Well, no, I'm just joking, yeah.
Saturday, so I had the Sergio Shadowrun's canceled tomorrow because Jack has prior things.
Okay.
Anyways, the rape scene is bad. Rape is bad. And
yeah, finally someone says it.
Beating women is bad.
Brave.
And the comedian sucks. And Hooded Justice just being like, "Get up, you bitch! God damn it!" is bad.
That was brutal, man.
Yeah.
I do not remember this. I'm going to be honest.
It's issue 2 when the comedian forces himself upon Silk Spectre.
Oh, I remember the rape scene. I don't remember the
first Silk Spectre.
And then, Hooded Justice beats. I also beats off the comedian. Beats off the comedian, fights him off, and then is like, "For God's sake, cover yourself up. Get the fuck up."
Oh, I do remember this.
Like,
I do
on the
remember
ground,
this.
covered in blood.
It says a lot about society.
Truly, it does.
It does. It really does say a lot about society in the 1950s. Unironically, that's kind of the point.
I was about to say, yeah, that seems like it's
almost like this comic is supposed to say something about society. Oh,
this entire comic is we live in a society.
Hello?
What are we opening? Hello?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. My dog started scratching at my plugs.
Oh,
so
no.
That's cool.
Uh-huh. So
okay, anyways, we're good.
Yeah. That is my least favorite moment is that, since somebody skipped me, Sergio. Fucking anarchist in the podcast, goddamn it. Who are you, Alan Moore?
He's Rorschach.
I'm gonna give a shout out. My least favorite moment of Watchmen is everything that's come out after Watchmen, comic book wise, that's related to Watchmen. All of the prequel shit and the sequel shit that they made fucking sucks. It doesn't need to exist, and it's annoying.
And Alan Moore probably hates it.
And we don't. It's not a probably, okay. He's like he doesn't give a fuck about these things. Anywho's it. Yeah, that's my other one. It's just like Doomsday Clock can suck my dick. I hate you, Jeff Johns. I want to beat him up.
Civilian justice. Let's go.
Yeah, what about you, Bertram? Do you got any least favorite moments that you can talk about specifically?
I agree with Sergio though. The newspaper, any scenes of that or comic section or whatever, they killed me. They killed my buzz. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to skim. I literally had to skim, and I try my hardest never to skim anything except Orconomics. But anyway, yeah, I try not to, but it had to happen with those because I know there was it was definitely like plot adjacent, but it just wasn't interesting enough for me to want to actually read it.
The funny thing about those sections is that they're in, because there's 3 cuts of the Watchmen movie: the theatrical, the director, and the ultimate cut. And in the ultimate cut, they add that stuff in, and Zack Snyder's like, "Don't fucking watch that version of the movie. Like, that's not my version of the movie."
Mm-hmm.
Based.
Didn't he make that part though? Like, come on.
I mean, maybe he just made it to be accurate, like more accurate to the comic. So people who
you can also make something and be like, after you made it, it's like,
I mean, clearly he cut it
good.
out. He didn't intend for you to watch it because it's not in the director's cut or the theatrical version.
I'm also gonna mention I'm gonna retcon my favorite moment to be the scene from the TV show where there's the giant Dr. Manhattan vibrator.
What?
In the TV show, Silk Spectre comes up Silk Spectre 2. She's like in her car and she reaches into the glove box and she has a 11-inch Dr. Manhattan vibrator.
That's
awesome. He's gone.
I want that.
It's the size of his pee-pee, allegedly.
That's brave.
That's not the size of his pee-pee in the comic.
Do we see it?
In the comic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we do see it.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I want to retcon my least favorite moment.
Is this Dr. Manhattan's pee-pee?
It's vaguely related. So I got to the part, the panel that Nick always sends.
Oh, the Steve Jobs one? Or which one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
What?
Or at least for the viewers, the one where Dr. Manhattan is vaporizing a character that will not be mentioned here because this is spoiler free, but he's like vaporizing a character. My least favorite part is that the meme floating around on the internet has like a dump truckified ass.
Yeah.
I'm so mad it doesn't look like that in the comic.
Oh my god,
Shaun. Have you never seen this?
No, I've seen it. I didn't realize that's what you were talking about. That's so good.
So sad that Steve Jobs died.
That was actually a really good scene.
It was a really good scene. I liked it, but I'm mad that he doesn't have a
it's an amazing
dumpy. Because I've seen that panel so many times.
Look, if you're gonna have a naked man in your comic book, you give him a big ass, okay? Like that's all we're asking for. You know, the gay community. We don't ask for a lot in our comics, all right?
That's where he's keeping all his
give Dr. Manhattan a big ass, all right?
Also, I'm gonna say this just because a lot of people miss out on it when they read Watchmen for some reason. For some reason, people don't realize that America won the Vietnam War in the Watchmen universe.
I noticed
that.
I noticed that, and I was like, "What?"
But Nixon gets a third term and shit.
Yes, I was like, "What's going on with this?"
Okay, hold on. This took me out. This took me. I gotta complain, Mr. Alan Moore. I do not believe there is an alternate universe where the Soviets did good in Afghanistan. I was like, "What the fuck is this bullshit?"
Or a universe where Richard Nixon wins 5 terms in office.
Well, that I can believe, but like the Soviets not getting their ass handed to them in Afghanistan, that's unbelievable.
Also, Live Aid was put together by Ozymandias. That's funny to me. Yeah, it's just a big like alternate universe. If you look into it, it's pretty interesting. Like the comedian probably assassinated Kennedy.
That's crazy.
That's interesting. I was wondering about that because I wondered if I was the only one who like noticed.
Yeah,
I
also noticed that.
It's surprisingly subtle.
Yes.
with what they do with it. Which is cool. I
I
like
need
that.
that
It's a yeah. There's a deep lore that's subtle that isn't really explored, and I like that because when they explore things like that, like they do, in the other comics, it gets bad and cringe.
Yes, because then you have to come up with an explanation for all of these things
Yeah,
that happen,
like-
which, like, it literally doesn't occur in real life. You know what I mean? Like, you never sit there and you're like, wow, I can't believe that this happened. I guess it happened because of this and this and this happening.
Yeah, like in Watchmen, Vietnam is the 51st state. And then they're like, we're going to make more Watchmen. And they're like, well, now we have to talk about Vietnam being a state. That sucks.
I never caught on to that. I feel like I remember seeing that a little bit, but I was like,
if you
so
look
confused.
at the flags, there's 51 stars.
Crazy.
I did not notice that.
Anyway, Shaun, what's your least favorite moment besides
the newspaper sections? Obviously, like, man, they were just such a slog. I couldn't stand them. I read them because like I wanted to read them for this. I thought like the comic book art was really cool. I thought it looked really neat, but like I get it. I get their idea, and there were some moments in the comic book scenes that were like actually some of my favorite moments, like the part where the newspaper guy gets the one newspaper and he's like. And he like gives his hat to the kid. I thought that was a really nice scene, to be honest. I really liked that one. But that was like the one that stood out to me. It was like there were some moments in the newspaper stand thing that I liked, but overall it was just it just holds the pace. It's so boring. It's just one guy talking and one guy reading a comic that's like symbolically related, and that's it. It's
speaking of symbolism, by the way, that gets us to our next question. Important themes. So let's talk about I don't want to be the guy that talks about like connects something written like 50 years ago to like modern political climates. But to this day, Watchmen feels really like, even especially like more recently, it feels a lot like something that was written to be as if this would never be something that would happen in the real world. And then in 2023, it just kind of became a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole fucking like police brutality and the riots and the vigilante justice, people just murdering each other in the streets for like a suspicion of maybe someone being a criminal. And like I don't want to be that guy, but that does kind of happen a lot in the real world. And in hashtag this is America, hashtag childish Gambino. I don't want to be that guy. I don't like being that guy.
You can be that guy.
But like I'm going to be that guy, and I would say that politically speaking, I would say Watchmen is almost more important politically than it even maybe was when it came out. Because when it came out, it was kind of a warning of what the world could become.
And now it's kind of
what
just the world is.
So you're telling me our world needs a Rorschach?
No, I'm saying the world
has.
Sure
about that one.
I'm saying the world has a bunch of Rorschachs that shoot people when they knock on their fucking front door or ring their doorbell, or fucking merge behind them in their car, or walk to the fucking grocery store or whatever.
We need more homophobes.
We have. Is that what you want? Is that what you want on record on this podcast, John?
That is what I took from this. That is what I took from this
comment out for you.
Sorry, big spoiler. That's like the big theme, though.
Homophobia.
That's what I got. Yeah.
And you want more of it?
You want more of that in 20. You, Sean Jackson, in the wake of 2023, political climate. You think that there's not enough homophobia? You think they should be prosecuted more? Is that what you're saying?
That's right. That's it. That's me, Sean Saxon, 2023. Okay. I said it. Put it on my grave, all right? I stand by my words.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. All right. So what are the themes of Watchmen, guys?
More homophobia.
Well, obviously, war is bad. I guess that's the most simplistic one.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit deeper than just war is bad.
War is pointless.
The war is pointless, and the political climate that war creates worsens society as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I think one that doesn't really come together until the end of the book is that not only like war itself is pointless, but
War is
also
gay.
like political factions in general. So much of the book is devoted to like people being on, you know, this side or that side, not even politically or socially speaking either, but just like, you know, the battle against each other,
You can
pitting
tell that
Americans against Americans.
you can Alan Moore's pro-anarchism really comes out in Watchmen, unironically, insanely. Between this and V for Vendetta, he makes it very clear that he thinks the government should not exist, pretty much, in general.
Yes.
Because, I mean, between Nixon being basically like a borderline fascist dictator and, like, all of the heroes, like, violently genociding people in Vietnam and beating women and doing drugs and drinking and sex
being
crime.
homophobic.
Being exploited as a nuclear bomb.
Being exploited as a nuclear bomb, which we'll get into in the spoiler section. Don't you worry. It's people who think that comic books aren't political
have clearly never read this one.
Just don't read, because all comic books have some sort of politic in them, pretty much, no matter what, whoever's writing them. There's always something they're trying to say. And Watchmen is like the perfect example of that.
There's a lot of things being said.
Another theme of this, I thought, was kind of like the general question of...
the question, I get that reference. Because that's the character that Rorschach is based on. You can continue now.
Anyways, thank you, Jacob. Anyways,
what I'm here for, man.
I forgot it now. You.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck.
What was it? It was like the question of like, is something good because like of its results, even if like the steps that it takes are not good. You know, like are results all that matters?
Do the means justify the end?
Exactly.
Or do the end? Does the end justify the means, rather?
Yes. Does the end justify the means?
Especially the ending, which again I won't spoil because we're not in the spoiler section yet.
Because like there's a lot that like goes into that. There's like it's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it that definitely touches on like I think one of the main like does the end justify the means? I think one of the big questions is like vigilante justice in general. Like, is it justified to have that happening at some points in time?
I would also argue imperialism as well because of like especially Vietnam implications.
I was gonna say exploitation overall. Like there's a lot of different examples, like as we've mentioned, like exploitation of women in general, but people, like exploitation of people, because it's very clear from a few of the characters' storylines, like the comedian or Dr. Manhattan, that there's some exploitation of the actual like masked superheroes.
Yeah, they're especially in the context of the story, the Minutemen like get pretty much all the blame based on like placed on them for what happened in Vietnam, and the government kind of just gets away with it, even though they told the Minutemen what to do. The Minutemen were, of course, they weren't good people, but the terrible things they did were done in
service
of the United States government, which says again a lot about what was going on politically when this was written. I mean, we were still like Vietnam was over for a chunk of time at this point, but it was still in the forefront of everybody's mind. The Cold War was still going on when this came out. Which again, Watchmen is also the Watchmen would not be what it is without the Cold War. Yeah, even though, like I said, it's incredibly potent, like politically nowadays. It's still based in stuff that isn't really a thing anymore, like the Cold War. Even though we still feel the ramifications of it to this day. Sergio, do you have any themes that you want to throw into the pile? We kind of talked a lot. We haven't let you say very much. Do you have anything you want to throw on?
I'm really bad at deciding themes, to be honest.
You're good, man.
It might be easier when we get to like the spoiler section too.
I mean,
that's
kind
true,
of hard to be fair.
Another
There's a
thing
lot
is
of
that
like
this
reveals in this
is a heavy critique of, I guess, like the radical side of the radical side of each of the like side of the political spectrum. I mean,
yes,
there's Nazis, there's communists. Never shown in a good light in this comic book. This comic book is very anti-Nazi.
There's an evil worse third party. Men.
Yes, and gay people.
Come on, man! You have to keep bringing this part up.
Look, man. Look, I'm just saying.
Actually, no. There's something even worse. Gay men.
Oh my gosh!
This book is pretty pro-lesbian. If you remember the girl that comes up to the newspaper.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Also, like
anti-gay men, pro-lesbian.
It is very worth saying this comic is not anti-gay.
It's just
For the record, I don't want you people to think that.
In fact, the only people who say homophobic things are the people who you're not supposed to like.
Yeah, for the record.
But you might like them anyway.
He balanced it out with the rapist killing and the pedophile killing.
Yeah, so that makes homophobia okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Justifies everything. Justifies
all
the
ends do justify the means, guys.
Damn, we answered our own question.
We answered it. I am now a neoliberal.
All right,
I'm going center. I'm going center left, guys. Let's go.
I'm gonna put on a mask and go say slurs on the street. Let's go,
Jonathan.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
Okay. Other two things. Obviously, you can't have a Cold War story without like some comment on atomic technology. Obviously, with Dr. Manhattan, but also this asks a lot of like existential questions, especially like with Dr. Manhattan and his whole.
We haven't even gone into that at all.
Yeah, because his whole like struggle throughout the book is that he sees the past and the present and the future as one thing. And in his mind, they can't be changed. Even though he very well could change it, he just simply chooses not to. Like, he's just like a cog in the machine.
Could he change it?
It's ambiguous.
Yes, that's the question, isn't it?
Because if he has the omnipotence to see events and the omnipotence to act in those events, then he could change them. But he doesn't.
He could definitely change them because, you know, obviously there's the thing where his future sight is blocked and he's not exactly sure what might happen. And he also makes the decision, like that's the whole gist of his conversation with like Silk Spectre. I think he says that you're not going to be able to convince me, but she convinces him anyway because he finds he finds the one true thermodynamic miracle in her birth.
Yeah. That might be getting into spoiler territory a little bit, but I do agree with you there. You make a good point. I don't know. I kind of thought he was maybe just lying to her.
And also just the concept of like everything that he's gone through, like the dehumanization of everything that's happened to him, both metaphorically,
yes,
as you know, as a human weapon, as Dr. Manhattan, but also in the sense of like, in the context of him being a soldier forced to do things that he did kind of, you know, wouldn't have normally done if it weren't for the fact that he was a soldier. Is, despite everything, is he still human? Like, which I feel like is a very interesting political point for like, especially, you know, at that point, Vietnam veterans were still reintegrating into society. So like, despite everything that they may have done, can they still be a like just a member of normal functioning member of society? Which I mean is always a relevant you know, statement to make because of the, you know, military industrial complex.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I often wonder that same thing about gay people, you know?
Come on, man.
Come
on.
Okay, you know what?
Right.
You know what?
That's it.
That
That's
is-
it. I'm done. I promise.
Okay, no. Okay, no. We're gonna
Unironically,
talk.
unironically, though, it's
Yes.
no. Listen. As a member of the alphabet people, right? Sometimes when you have such animosity from other people directed towards you because of a fundamental part of who you are, sometimes it feels like there's no way for you to be integrated into society, or that you're becoming not even human anymore. Maybe that's just how I feel sometimes when I'm really like down in my feelings. But like one of the reasons I liked Dr. Manhattan as a character that much is because of that like struggle for like, you know, like, are you part of humanity? Are you something different? And then also struggling with like apathy because of the things you've experienced, the things that have been done to you, the things that you've done to other people. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing, Kai, just to confirm, what you're saying is gay people are
nuclear weapons,
braver than the military.
They had their nuclear weapons fields removed.
Maybe people are going to go to Mars.
All I'm saying is I know Sam, and that's all I'll say on the matter.
That could go either way. That could
go
either
way, but I think we know which way it's going.
I don't know Sam, and I'm not going to comment on that. But I will say, honestly, thinking about Dr. Manhattan, like a lot of his moments are like his kind of inability to understand humans. I don't know. Is he like, this might be completely wrong and kind of dumb of me to say. I'm not really sure. But he seems almost a little bit like autism coded in a way.
That's what I thought too.
I think that's interesting.
I was thinking about that.
I'm not sure if I interpreted that way, but I don't think that's an invalid interpretation. I think that's a very fair thing to interpret.
I'm not saying I think that he is autistic. I just think he has like a lot of very similar traits, and there's almost like an allegory for it.
I agree with that. I think he's an allegory for a lot of things, like the misfits of society, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I could kind of correlate to, you know, the spectrum, even though it wasn't a very fleshed out concept in the 1980s. Still
true.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting interpretation I don't think I've ever heard before. So I got to give you credit.
I don't think it was like, I wouldn't really imagine that it was intended, to be honest, but I feel like it's kind of maybe an interesting thing that happened.
All I'm saying is maybe Alan Moore's pulling from his own experiences. I'm not going to say that Alan Moore is autistic or holistic, or, you know, I'm not going to say anything definitive, but it's
many
possible.
Great artists are. I wouldn't be that surprised, to be honest.
So what I'm hearing from you is that you think autistic people are braver than the military.
Yes, and gay people are nuclear weapons.
Ironically, yes.
Yeah, and gay people are nuclear weapons.
No, I think it's worth saying. I think it's worth saying, just for the benefit of the audience, that there's a lot of different struggles that you have that can make you feel other from society,
and they all make you braver than the military.
No, I think it's similar problems, because part of the reason why it's so hard for some people to come back from the military is because they get PTSD from what they experienced. And I think in a lot of ways, like if you're in an ostracized group of any kind, you get socially isolated. You face a lot of stigma. You may be, different from how you were previously in time, or different from what people expect you to be. And I think that contributes to just like, feeling, I guess isolated is the best word. I know I already said that, but isolated or feeling different. And I think in that respect, like it's comparable struggles. Like obviously they're not the same, and I don't think one is greater than the other, because you can go through a lot of bad shit from being like on the spectrum or in the LGBT community or being, of a different race, any of that, any of the struggles that you can have from being outside of the majority, I think they apply to this issue. And I think military service also would apply to that, since a lot of people become neurodivergent after getting back, or maybe they were already before and now this has just exacerbated it.
That's true.
And him going to Mars, really, like, that is a very metaphorical, like, isolation thing, I think.
Yes, I loved
like,
that
really
scene, the scene on Mars.
I love everything that happened on Mars, to be honest. Like, a lot of the scenes on Mars are some of my favorite moments.
Yes. Just like David Bowie said.
Yes.
Is there life on Mars? So with that note, do you guys recommend this to anybody who could be listening who's never read it?
Yes,
I would
recommend
I think
it's something anyone should read, to be honest.
Yes,
it is.
I think this should be
good.
like
you should let it politically
high school,
you.
Like high school reading, high school required reading material.
Oh yeah,
skip the newspaper bits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll feel like it's high school reading material.
Sergio, you agree? I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I may have given it a 5 out of a 7 out of 10, but I still think it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Just has problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think if you get more into American comics, the more you read it, the more you'll appreciate it.
That is completely possible. I am not a big American comic reader. I mostly read manga.
American comics are very much like light on the allegories or the symbolism, while Watchmen is like very much just making a stance, and I respect that a lot.
Yeah,
like with the mutants and X-Men, it's kind of like you can kind of play ignorant and like, oh, I didn't know it was a civil rights allegory. What? But Watchmen is like, no, this is what I'm trying to tell you. And if you can't get that from this, then you're an idiot.
It's very true, yeah.
It does kind of punch you in the face.
Handed in that way, but in a good way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
in the best way possible.
With that, I believe it is time for us to end the spoiler-free section. So we will be right back. Go
read it.
Read it, and then we'll talk about some of the crazy stuff that happens in Watchmen. Because holy shit, so much crazy stuff happens in Watchmen.
You guys get 30 seconds. Read it during that time, and then come back.
Yes, read it in 30 seconds. Pause. Exactly.
Good luck.
All right, guys. We're back. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed the ad break and or reading it in between.
In 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah.
I hope you were able to complete it on time.
I'm going to talk about probably the most obvious thing to talk about when we're talking about Watchmen. Oh my god. The ending is so good.
It is. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the fucking whole like confrontation with Ozymandias, and then just like, oh, I'm gonna end the world. When's it gonna happen? When? It already happened like 12 hours ago.
That was crazy.
That shit. Literal goosebumps.
I was not expecting that.
Straight up, like shivering.
That was so good. Like, that actually made me like gasp out loud. So good. Honestly, everything about like the end of the world in this is so good. They have so many good like end of the world related bits. Like the part where that's off topic. I'll save that for later. But still,
I mean, we're in the spoiler section. You can talk about it.
Yeah, talk about anything.
Right. I'll say it. One of my favorite moments that I didn't want to say earlier, when Rorschach goes up to the newspaper guy and asks for his paper, and the newspaper guy's like, "Hey, the world didn't end yet. Didn't end yesterday, huh?" And Rorschach's like, "Are you sure?" That was a good moment. I liked it a lot, especially imagining it like in Rorschach's very monotone voice. Oh,
yeah, but yeah, fucking, I did it 35 minutes ago is like one of the all-time greatest moments in a comic book. I think, like straight up, maybe even fiction. Just straight up, it's done. Also, however, I'm going to take this moment to say one thing. And it's that the movie kind of did it better.
What in the movie?
Because instead of it being
without the squid.
Yeah, instead of it being the squid, it's just a nuclear blast that's disguised to look like Dr. Manhattan's doing. So instead of the world unifying against Big Squid, they are unifying against Dr. Manhattan, who's kind of the antagonist of the story, while also not being, because Ozymandias is obviously the. No, I mean in Watchmen in general.
I guess that's kind of true.
Both Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan are kind of the villain, because Dr. Manhattan he kills all the Watchmen. Like he just vaporizes them pretty much.
That's kind of true, I guess. I don't know. A lot of what he does is just not like. I guess this is another theme. Is kind of like is not doing something like doing something wrong. You know, like the trolley problem. Because like he goes because he doesn't stop the bullet when the comedian kills that pregnant woman, for example.
He doesn't stop the squid. He doesn't stop anything that could have happened. And again, as we know with fucking. I just lost my train of thought. The whole idea of Alan Moore's political ideology. The plan kind of succeeds. The world is unified against a common threat.
Yeah, it works, and that's like the craziest thing. It's like the ends. Yeah. Do the ends justify the means? I'm not sure, man. At the end, like everybody's like, "What are we gonna do? Stop him?" Like. He did it already. Like, what's going to happen now? We can't just are we going to bring the world back to war? So good.
Rorschach, being the base man he is, goes, yes, this is wrong, and walks out.
Yeah, that was pretty based.
Was he right? Was that based?
It was based. I don't know if it was right, but it was based.
Okay, it was based. That's true.
I think Rorschach is at the end of the story kind of correct. Like
he's consistent in his morals.
Yes, that's why it's based. He's consistent.
Because he's like, we got to go back and stop, bad people from doing bad things. And then they're kind of like, oh, well, we need to let this run its course and see what happens afterwards. And he's like, no, that's wrong. We need to do something about it, and then he dies. He gets turned to ligma balls. Steve Jobs.
I mean, It's based maybe, but like, is it really like the best thing for the world at that point? I don't know. I don't really think so.
We don't have an answer.
Yeah, we don't have an answer. I mean, at the end of the day, even if the world is better, Ozymandias still genocided like 15 million Americans.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. But like, he already did it.
Yes, and you can't undo what he already did.
You can't undo it, but that doesn't mean
the only thing you can do is make the future worse. And still have 15 million genocided Americans.
True, but there's no telling how united the people would stay for very long anyways, because I know the good part of it is like, oh yeah, now we're all working together, but how long would it truly stay that way?
That's true.
Humans are like, I'm not going to make any opinions here, but I would say that like one of the big messages that I forgot to mention is that humans are kind of like inherently divisive. Like we don't really like to get along with each other. Like we'll group up with people who are similarly minded and then like just stay in that little group most of the time and then antagonize other groups.
That's true.
Also, the plot twist that the comedian is Laurel's dad is crazy.
Oh yeah, that was insane. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wait,
I predicted that? I was like, "Yep."
It makes sense, honestly.
That definitely happened.
One thing at the end, like one of the last scenes, Laurel is the woman who dates the owl, right? I'm really bad with names.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the
second Silk Spectre.
Which, if you can't tell, she's supposed to be not a Charleston character, but she's kind of supposed to be the Black Canary. Even they have the same name and everything, and it's the second Black Canary, the second Silk Spectre.
So on
Interesting.
page 30 of the last issue, is that like the comedian that she's kissing there?
In the frame, in the photo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was Night Owl's dad, and I thought it was like a crazy thing, like implying that
It
they're
was, like,
actually in an
incest.
incestuous relationship, and this was just not known.
No, the implication is that the comedian and her mother reconciled after the fact.
Yes, that makes so much more sense now. I did not recognize that as being the comedian, I'm going to be honest. I was really confused. I thought his outfit looked a lot more like Night Owl. I was like, oh, maybe it was his dad, because like that was a thing, I think.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny if you look at it. It kind of just looks like Bucky Barnes.
That's true. But anyways.
Which is probably on purpose, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
Could be.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, I do want to say about the humans like grouping up against each other and stuff. I think it does have that as a theme, but also at the same time, it does seem to have a little bit of a theme of like people also wanting to help other people.
Yes.
Inherently, people being like inherently wanting to help each other. Like, because one thing I think about is that last scene where everybody is rushing to like stop the fight, you know, and everybody comes together all at once before they all get nuked.
I feel like that's kind of what that like scene was supposed to be about.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess also like the Minutemen in general were all very different people who grouped up for a common goal to like fight crime.
Also, even if they kind of did like bad
terrible things.
So something that just came to mind. But you know those memes of like POV, like you dropped like your like bottle on the side of like Gotham City, and then Batman comes and beats you up. That's Rorschach in this book. Like when he's like interrogating like Moloch, and he's like, "You have a gun? Where's your license? You have illegal drugs. This is like the cancer drug. It's like, where'd you get this? Why do you have it?" And then he's just like, "Get a license for it, and I won't break your neck."
He would hate weed smokers.
He would. He's the guy that puts weed smokers in prison for life. Kamala Harris.
Yeah. He is Kamala Harris. That's what Alan Moore was trying to say the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. So now I'm going to talk about something unrelated to the comic, and I'm going to talk about the movie and why I don't like the movie. Bert, have you seen the movie? I don't know if you have. I don't think so.
No, I haven't.
So it's directed by Zack Snyder, the guy who directed Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and the Zack Snyder Justice League, 300, etc. I was mentioning 300. And Watchmen as a story is good because the violent characters just juxtapose what should be the status quo, right? Like Silk Spectre and Night Owl are not violent people, but they worked with violent people, and in their past lives were violent people, and should show remorse for it. I mean, he quits being Night Owl, right? So in the movie, they just kind of like maim and murder people all the time. Like, there's a scene where they're in a like fight. They get jumped in an alley or something. Silk Spectre and Night Owl, and they're just like breaking people's arms so hard that the bones pop out, and like breaking people's necks. Like in this run, the only real violence that we see that isn't committed by Rorschach or like any of the people who are objectively kind of bad people is like when they go to like break Rorschach out of prison, and Night Owl and Silk Seamstress are seen in like a panel and a half, 2 panels, like beating up guards and then like running off with him. When in the movie, it's like a 20-minute scene.
They did get jumped by some people and beat them up, though.
But it wasn't that violent.
They were just maim them beyond recognition.
Yes, they just knocked them out. And
that's kind of the Zack Snyder-ism of what he does with his adaptations of things. Like his Batman is kind of the same way. If you've ever seen Batman v Superman, I don't know if you have, Kai.
I
Shaun,
haven't.
I think you said you have.
It was so long ago. I don't remember a thing about it, but I have. I just remember
Batman
not
just
liking
kind
it.
of murders people
Yeah, it's weird.
all the time in that movie. Like he
Isn't that like the opposite of what he normally does?
It's like kind of his whole thing that he doesn't do that.
He has like mounted turrets on the Batmobile and like shoots up a semi truck that like tears apart and explodes. And there's people in it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Really weird. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, it's very silly.
They also like Batmanified Night Owl in the movie. Night Owl is a lot like, despite he's got all like the Blue Beetle things, like the ship and the gadgets and stuff like that, but his costume is more aligned to be like Batman. They kind of treat him like a Batman XP.
And I mean, it was right off the heels of like the Chris Nolan Batman. Like I think The Dark Knight came out around the same time.
Is that just in like design or personality too?
Design.
Okay, good. Because I would take a lot of problems with his personality.
Character, I would say, in the movie.
I mean, they kind of give him the fucking Christian Bale like, I'm the fucking Night Owl. You know,
that's annoying.
I don't like that. He's so awkward. That's what I like about him, is that he's like so like super awkward. That's what my favorite thing about him. He's
nerdy.
Very endearing. He's like super endearing. I like that character a lot.
No, I'll send you a picture of him
like a failure. He's kind of like a failure, like cringe fail, but in like an endearing way.
Yeah, a failure cringe fail.
What do you mean no?
He's an ornithologist, man.
Yeah, he's kind of pathetic.
He is like super rich. So I don't know if calling him a failure is right. He kind of acts like one,
smart.
Though.
Come on.
Okay, I mean, he's like
a failure.
He's a wee bit pathetic.
He's romantic
and pathetic. He can be both.
I honestly think he's actually great, but he just acts like he just thinks he's pathetic, and like because he thinks that, he acts that way, and it makes him that way.
You can be a pathetic cringe fail while also being based. Like they're not they're not exclusive.
I guess.
And also really rich.
Did you post the picture, Sergio?
I sent it to Shaun directly, but I could just put it in the server.
Just post it in Thug Shaker.
What did you send me?
The Night Owl Watchmen.
What? He looks exactly like Batman. What the fuck?
Yeah, they Batman him.
Oh my gosh, he does look exactly like Batman.
They kind of Batman him.
Wait, you know how there's like the bimbofication? Is this the Batmanification of superheroes?
Yeah, but so many superheroes go through the Batmanification. Like Sergio and I can attest to the Green Arrow getting Batmanified throughout history.
That's so funny.
Because in Arrow, the TV show, he's just Batman, but with a vaguely green costume
and with a sort of similar rogues gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you guys have anything more you want to say about the movie? Because I do have something I want to say, but it's completely unrelated.
It's not a bad movie. It's just kind of like
it's very well made. It's very well shot. Very well cast.
It's a popcorn flick. It just like it doesn't have any of the like nuance that the comic does. It's like if you took away all the nuance of Watchmen, you get the movie.
That's honestly really disappointing because I feel like everything that's good about Watchmen is the nuance.
See,
it's too bad. It's really not meant to be like that popcorn flick kind of like normal superhero thing.
There's like not really that much action.
That's just what Zack Snyder kind of excels at. He's what he makes is very much, no matter what people want to tell you on the internet, is very much popcorn flicky.
Well,
he's a weird choice for this.
I'll give them this with the movie, because I wouldn't like this movie like I would say is one of like the foundational like pieces of entertainment for me. I saw it around when it came out, and you know it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. It's why I wanted to read this comic. It's at least it's different. This came out like a year after Iron Man. It's very different than what like superhero movies like became. Like there's a lot of practical effects in this. It's not like a CGI shit show. Obviously, like Dr. Manhattan CG, you can't really kind of get around like that. But like they actually built like the Night Owl ship, and stuff like that. It's I personally would recommend it, especially if you like the comic. I think there's still enjoyment to be had out of it. I think the comic is better, simply because I think it delves into like the themes and stuff like that. But he didn't like ruin it. Like
it's not the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie.
It's still very much Watchmen. It's Watchmen with some of the numbers filed off, but like if you liked Dr. Manhattan in this comic, you'll like him in the movie. If you liked if you liked any of these characters, they're adapted pretty faithfully.
Also, it's worth noting that Zack Snyder came off of, when he directed the movie, came off of Dawn of the Dead and 300. So he was like,
he was peaked.
He was kind of like, he did not peak there. Let's be clear. He peaked at like Man of Steel.
He peaked at like Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Gold.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Like, I forgot that movie existed. Like Dawn of the Dead remake was very successful, very popular. People really liked it. James Gunn wrote that movie? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
I also didn't know that.
Screenplay written by James Gunn. And 300 made like fucking crazy bucks for the year it came. It had a $60 million budget and made almost $500 million, which for a pre-MCU comic book film is basically printing money.
300 is based off a comic. I didn't even know that.
300 is based off a comic written by Frank Miller, who is another comic book author that I have a lot of words to say about. Similar to Alan Moore, except they're significantly less good words. Because he's crazy. In a not endearing way, like Alan Moore is crazy.
I'm very curious about that. Tell me about that sometime.
We'll read something he did so you can understand, so I can go into it on the pod.
I also will say if you love the opening of this comic, the movie's opening is just as good.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say it here so we can hold ourselves accountable. If we want to, since we read Watchmen, we can read another really good DC book. How about we read The Dark Knight Returns?
I love The Dark Knight Returns. I would read it again.
Would you be interested, Shaun and Bert?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like one of the like formulative modern Batman stories. Like what Batman is now is because of that story. Just straight up.
To be fair, I barely know anything about Batman.
Same. I probably know less than you do, to be honest.
That's okay. You don't really need to.
Okay.
I honestly think that'll even be good. Like we'll have some more mixed perspectives in the actual episode.
True.
Yeah, we should do that if you guys are down. We can plan out a month.
Very much so. Very much so.
We can do, because like this episode was supposed to be alongside a book reading that we did. So if we have a month where we decide we could do a book reading and a comic reading, we can do it. Like maybe I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil what
maybe we should
what we're doing.
Get back to the topic and then talk about this after the episode is over.
Yes.
Yeah, you keep me on track, you little whore. Slaps my ass.
I will. Does that imply that I'm gay? Because I have a problem with that.
I can tell.
I'm joking.
September.
This is a joke, everybody. I'm telling you now that we're like an hour in.
Definitely a joke.
But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good comic.
I have things I want to say about the comic.
Just go ahead. Go for it. Yeah.
My favorite scenes. I got three for you right here. First one, oh my gosh. The part where Rorschach apologizes for not being a good friend to Night Owl. Oh, it melts me. It's like, I really love that scene because it is like one of the very few human moments Rorschach gets, and it's such a good one. Like it just reveals so much about him and their relationship and like just everything right there. I was not expecting it at all. Like it caught me so off guard. He like it was almost like he was breaking character, and I loved that.
Yeah.
Great scene.
It is interesting that even despite everything that he is as a character, he still is a human. And just giving
it's a very humanizing
moments
moment.
of humanization for even someone as terrible and unforgivable as Rorschach.
Yeah.
Who's basically like the like borderline like fascist allegory of just like, oh, someone committed a crime? Yeah. I'm just gonna fucking butcher them with a cleaver. I'm just gonna fucking murder them as violently as I can because they like evaded their taxes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's how we all should be. To be honest, that's how our society needs to be.
Yeah,
but yeah, agreed.
We're learning a lot about.
What did I disagree to? I changed my mind. Continue. Go on.
Tax-based Rorschach villain. His mask changes depending on how much you owe the IRS. So he shows up and he's like, "How much do you owe? 700." And then his mask smashes like 1,000, and then he just says, "Jail."
No, I was thinking it's a green bar going up and he hands you money, or it's a red bar going down and he just fucking murders you.
Can I tell you something crazy?
Yeah.
This is a webcomic. It's called...
If you tell me, I swear to God, if you tell me that this is a fucking Homestuck reference, I'm going to become a cannibal.
It's not a Homestuck reference.
It's not Homestuck.
Fucking God.
I could have told you that, man.
There's a Korean manhwa called The Tax Reaper. It's about a guy whose power is that he sees how much people owe in taxes above their heads.
We gotta read it
and they
for
take
the
some to court. It's ongoing. It's kind of crazy. I read like 24 episodes. I was like, what am I reading? And I stopped. It's like extremely pro, like, Korean government, pro taxes. It's like it's so. I also felt like it had absolutely zero substance to it. It's like it's just a really happy guy who loves the government and is such a good guy, and he pays his taxes. And if you don't pay taxes, you're evil, and he defeats the evil people who don't pay their taxes. It's such a weird thing. Like who made this? Who sat down and said, "Yeah, this is what I'm gonna make."
Taxman, good.
He was probably handed a very fat check from the government.
Maybe
more
I
than
wouldn't even
likely.
be surprised. But anyways, my second favorite moment, I actually forgot what it was. So my third favorite moment, this isn't actually my third favorite moment. The third one I wanted to mention, the scene where John comes back from being obliterated and he's huge, so good.
That's so good. Yes,
and his dick out.
Yeah, and he's got his huge dick out. That was crazy. And he smashes the window with his huge cock. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was my favorite part.
The whole part of that section of him just like experiencing time just in bubbles, like in quite literally like in bubbles, each panel being a different time period, or each couple panels being a different time period. Just is a really good way of representing how he experiences time.
Reality.
Like he has moments of comprehension just back.
Mm-hmm. I like that a lot too. And then third thing, this is actually two things because I just realized I have two. First one, on Mars, the part where the smiley face shows up, very cool. That is actually a formation on Mars, which is so cool. And it's like, the thing is, that formation was so unlikely to like exist, right? So it fits the theme so well about like his miracle thing. It's a pretty cool moment. I like that a lot. And then also the part where the woman, who I can't remember the name of, and I will refer to her as the woman and not ask for a correction. I like the part where the woman drops her. I can't hear you over my sexism.
The woman,
creature.
The woman, real name. Yeah. But when Silk Spectre drops her drink on the glass like thing and it shatters, such a good moment.
yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, that moment hit me so hard. It's like it just everything shattering as like in John's mind, his like whole everything has to be shattering for John in that moment too. It's like such a cool metaphor, and at the same time, just such a cool scene in general. And that's immediately followed by the smiley face scene. And also the way it is drawn with Silk Spectre also falling to the ground and starting to cry, like following John's prediction. Oh my gosh, these panels are like my favorite. This page is probably my favorite page of the whole book.
Also, I just want to take a second, just real quick. I love the colors of Watchmen. I love how saturated and fucking just like they're all primary colors. There's barely any. There's so many yellows and reds and oranges and like all hard colors and it's all.
The art
so
is the best part. The art is like so totally the best part of this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
I also really like to go off of that. I really like the final 2 issues just because of the stark difference since they're now in the Antarctic. And you see all the white for the first time. It's like crazy. And then like the really bright like indoor like rainforest kind of colors too inside of Ozymandias' little thing.
The city being all blacks and reds and yellows being juxtaposed with the softer blues and greens and whites of Ozymandias' lair. The only thing that really that clashes against that is himself with his purple gold and his red little cat thing.
Yes. I also wanted to say to go off of the art too. When we see like New York destroyed and it's just a panel taking up the entire page for like several pages, it's like you really feel the weight of the moment, because for pretty much most of the rest of the book there's only a couple panels that take up most of the page, and I think the only other moment where there's like one that takes up an entire page is when John gets like blasted and you see his like skeleton, which is also very cool. But I liked seeing just the full like carnage of it. Also, the entire time when you're looking at like the clock throughout the entire frickin' like comic, and you're like, I was thinking, what is this? Like, why do we keep coming back to this clock spattered in blood? And then when you finally see it at the end, it's like a good payoff, but also devastating.
Also, let's talk about this. The last thing you see on issue 11 is a clock sitting at 11:59.
Yes.
Oh,
and
that's
issue
good.
12 is midnight.
Yes.
I mean, even the first page of issue 12 is a clock covered in blood struck midnight.
Yeah, it's so cool. Also, there's something I just realized while I was like flip through as we talked about this. In page, what was it? Page like oh sorry, I just lost it. Page 23 of the last issue. Rorschach's face is like, I'll send it in the chat, but his face is totally like the 2 kissing people that like you see throughout the thing. That silhouette.
Yeah.
I just realized that. It's super cool.
Oh yeah.
I honestly feel like his face has to have like so much meaning in it that I never like actually went and like looked for. I mean, I really want to.
It's quite literally a Rorschach test. It's quite literally there for you to interpret what he's feeling off of the mask.
Really?
I
That's
didn't
cool.
even think of that. I noticed it was changing, but I was just like, "Yep, that's cool."
Yeah, I mean, no, there's a reason behind it. No, I'm going to talk about one more thing unrelated to the comic, unfortunately, because I'm a hater. We're going to talk about what came after, and we're going to talk about Doomsday Clock. Sergio, you read comics. Have you read Doomsday Clock?
I have not. I would just like to say that, so if you guys aren't aware, in 2011 they did a reboot of DC Comics called the New 52, where they rebooted the universe, and the explanation originally was the Flash created a Flashpoint timeline where he went back, he saved his mother, and then he made her dead again. Like he stopped himself from doing that, and it changed everything. And then they relaunched.
And this
DC
is relevant to Watchmen.
Yes,
just to be clear.
Yeah, and they relaunched again with DC Rebirth, and in the 90-page like DC Rebirth opener, where a lot of stuff was going on, Flash pulls Kid Flash out of the Speed Force, like the original Kid Flash pre-New 52, and he's like, Barry, someone stole 10 years from us. Someone did this. You didn't, like, Flashpoint didn't change the DC universe. And it was revealed that Dr. Manhattan was the one who changed the DC universe, and the comedian's button lands in the Batcave. Initially, I was really excited for this. Like, this sounded awesome. Like, Dr. Manhattan in the DC universe, like, going up against all the heroes, like, that sounded really cool. And then I read about Doomsday Clock, and then I was like, why? Why did you do this?
Yeah,
that does sound super cool, but what happened?
So the guy who wrote it, a man that I have a lot of feelings towards, his name is Geoff Johns. And Geoff Johns...
That sounds like a fake name.
It does. His name is Geoffrey Johns. Geoff Johns was once one of the greatest comic book authors of all time. I will go as far to say that. I think that's fair, Sergio. I don't know about you.
I would say so. And at some point, he fell off.
His run on The Flash and the JSA and the Green Lantern, the Titans, like most of his major events, like Blackest Night, Brightest Day, are all really fucking good. And then at some point, he kind of got spread a little too thin. He started working on the DC movies as well. He worked with Zack Snyder on stuff. He wrote stuff for it. It got vague for a while, right? He worked on the TV shows as well. He wrote Arrow episodes and Flash episodes. And he spread himself too thin. So Doomsday Clock was supposed to be much like Watchmen, 12 issues, one a month, just like a story. It took 2 years to come out. It started in November of 2017. It was foreshadowed in like mid 2016 when the Rebirth event in DC happened. And it didn't end until December of 2019.
Jeez.
I remember when it came out because I was in college. I'm pretty sure I was hanging out with Sergio when I read it. And it was rough. It was not cool. It was kind of cringe. The whole thing of like the Watchmen genocide thing happened. Rorschach's journal gets published, exposing Ozymandias' whole thing. And then the world is ending in the Watchmen universe, and Ozymandias has to find Dr. Manhattan, who's just like jerking off in the DC universe, like just like he killed the Reverse Flash for no reason because he thought it would be funny. That like it's straight up, it just like happens. Then just a whole bunch of dumb stuff happens, and the Watchmen universe gets like rebooted, and there's like a child Dr. Manhattan named Clark.
After Superman.
And it's very much like, first of all, it's a disrespect to the original like story, like Watchmen storyline, because it just overly complicates it and answers questions that didn't need to be answered. But also, it's very much just like, it just feels like Geoff Johns had a bunch of action figures that he wanted to fight. And so he took his Dr. Manhattan action figure, and he took his Batman action figure and his Superman action figure and just mashed them together and just made them fight.
That's disappointing. Honestly, it's hard to imagine that working out. Like, there's such different like stories, told for such different purposes.
Yeah.
Like, none of these superheroes belong in like the world of normal superheroes to me.
Yeah, they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're supposed to be like parodies, but I feel like the superhero comics have kind of gotten to the point, like, especially like modern day equivalents, the comedian is supposed to be a parody of Peacemaker. But where does the Peacemaker parody end and Peacemaker begin in the modern day? Because I feel like Peacemaker is more of a parody than the comedian is of himself. Especially with the TV show. Not that the TV show's bad.
I don't
It's
know
good.
a thing about Peacemaker, so I can't comment on this.
He was in the Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn directed, and then he got his own TV show by James Gunn.
Very cool.
But he's kind of like a parody of superheroes in that. So, like, at what point does Peacemaker end and the comedian begin?
That is confusing. A parody of a parody.
Yeah. Not even a parody of a parody. It's a self-parody that was already parodied as a parody. And also, every single event that's happened after Doomsday Clock has like referenced it, and so it's like it feels like it should just be its own like standalone thing, kind of like what the Three Jokers major event turned into. Maybe as a result of Doomsday Clock turning out the way it did, but like it feels like it shouldn't be canon, and it very much is, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
But I don't know. I haven't read it since it came out, and that was almost 4 years ago. And
honestly, my curiosity is high. I'm almost interested to check it out. I know I'm going to be disappointed, but I kind of want to see.
It's a fun read because it's bizarre, but I don't know. It's kind of cringe fail, and not in the endearing way. It's just Jeff Johns used to be such a good, like, his Flash run is one of my favorite comic runs of all time. But he also wrote like my least favorite Flash story of all time, Flashpoint. So it's like, come on, man. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be good and bad. You have to choose one.
As all creators must.
Yeah, but yeah, I have honestly not a lot left to say about Watchmen. It's so good.
Me neither. I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah. Do you guys have any closing thoughts? Anybody?
Let Watchmen be. Like the adaptations and the Watchmen has run its course with trying to extend it out further. I mean, DC hasn't really done much with it since like Doomsday Clock ended. There's been a few things here and there, but I think of this like no more TV shows, no more movies. Just leave it. Like I'm
pretty sure it's supposed to get a sequel. So
no, I thought the TV show was a sequel.
No, the Doomsday Clock. I mean,
are we getting a Doomsday Clock too?
I've heard rumors. Also, they made a 2020 Rorschach limited series about like another Rorschach, and that was a cringe fail. Also.
That was that's
I remember reading it
to the TV show.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay, because I was reading it and I had no fucking idea what was going on, but now I understand why, because I didn't watch the TV show.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the Watchmen is like, it's amazing, but it is like, it should be left alone. I feel like there's a lot of superhero, like,
to me, just from a very outsider's perspective on the whole superhero market, it seems like a lot of superheroes are made in a way where they can always kind of come back and like be used in a lot of different scenarios and still be good because they were just made for that. I just don't think the Watchmen may be a superhero thing. It might be in the DC universe, but it's not that. And it shouldn't be treated like it is.
Yeah, I agree with that for a lot of comic book stories. There's a lot of comic book stories that like exist in a continuity of a character that probably should have been a standalone story. Like, for example, The Dark Knight Returns, which we will read, is not canon to the DC universe. However, something that came out around the same time, The Killing Joke, which I feel like is a similar structure to The Dark Knight Returns, is canon. And it kind of takes away the message of the story without giving anything away. Due to us probably reading it.
I do really want to read The Killing Joke.
Me too.
It's also an Alan Moore book, and it also has a shitty adaptation that everyone hates.
Yes,
not just Alan Moore.
Yeah. It's a really bad animated movie. They didn't have enough time or enough comic to like make it a whole movie, so they like wrote fan fiction for the first 40 minutes about Batman and Batgirl like fucking. And then they made The Killing Joke happen.
Oh my gosh.
So there's just a really weird like mood shift for no reason, and the tone of this thing is just irreparably like changed.
That is so bizarre.
That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Watchmen. If you guys want to do more comics, you're free to come back. I have a lot of Sergio and I both, I guess, have a lot of comic recommendations that we can bring on for you guys to read.
I actually want to do more comics like so badly. I would love that.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll pull together. I don't know how willing you guys are to read like longer runs in chunks.
I'm down for that.
I
want to get into the comic scene.
If we do like a longer running series, like 12 issues at a time, which is going to be shorter than Watchmen because Watchmen issues, they're graphic novel issues, so they're much longer. But if you guys would be okay with that, I could bring some in.
Sure.
That'd be interesting. We should talk about that sometime then.
I would really want to check out Alan Moore's Swamp Thing because I read Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing for the New 52, which is a comic that goes hard. I love Swamp Thing, so I would like to try out the hardest.
A good author.
The hardest Swamp Thing book to exist, which is Alan Moore's.
We should read. I think it's Neil Gaiman wrote Animal Man. We should read Animal Man.
No, that's Grant Morrison.
It's Gaiman, by the way.
It might be Grant Morrison. What's up, Kyle?
What?
It's Gaiman. It's Neil Gaiman.
Gaiman?
Right? Oh, is it? Is it Gaiman?
I'm pretty sure it's Gaiman.
You know how I feel about gay men.
Did you know Neil Gaiman came up with that one episode of Doctor Who where the TARDIS is a woman?
Yes.
According to Wikipedia,
yeah, it's Gaiman.
It's Gaiman. Yeah, that's crazy.
I thought so. He's a good author. We should read Good Omens. It's a good one.
Oh, I love Good Omens. That was my introduction to Terry
I don't
Pratchett.
think I could read Good Omens without thinking about Fujoshi.
Don't think about it. Just
because
pretend
my ex was really into to Good Omens Fujoshi because of the TV show.
Don't do it.
Also, Fujoshi? You're thinking of Grant Morrison, not Neil Gaiman when it comes to Animal Man.
I was close. They're both incredible authors. Fujoshi is like MLM fiction.
Interesting.
But women who
like a Fujoshi is a woman who's really into like MLM.
Oh, okay.
No,
I know what kind of thing
not multi-level marketing, by the way.
I figured.
Yeah,
the other one.
Yeah, we'll find. Maybe we'll do something with Neil Gaiman at some point. He's written really good stuff.
He does write good stuff.
You know what I want to read that he made that I would love to bring to the podcast?
The Sandman? Is that what you want to do?
It is not. It's actually something really obscure that you guys aren't going to know what it is. It's called 1602. It is an 8-issue limited print Marvel series about an alternate Marvel universe that takes place in 1602.
Interesting.
And Neil Gaiman wrote it. And I've never read it. I heard it's cool. And I won't read it until we want to. Because,
I'm down for that.
Okay. I'm down.
You know what I'm also down for, though?
What?
We're wrapping up this episode.
Baller
transition.
I forgot that I was a guest for a second there. Sorry.
You don't get to say any evil things.
No, you're basically a host at this point.
Yeah,
that's true. And as a host, I now have the power to do this.
We do have a
episode ends. Bam.
Boom. Yeah, I end it there.
Wait, don't we have to say?
Did you actually want to plug? You should actually plug things if you want to plug things.
listen, come back next month. We're gonna be reading the Wheel of Time with
The first
me
book.
and the first Wheel of Time, the Eye of
the World.
World. That's what it's called, with Matt. And I don't know if Shaun picked it up. Shaun, did you pick it up? You can
I
say
did not.
no.
I don't think I'm gonna read.
It's
That's
long.
okay. It's really
I don't think
long.
I got it. I don't think I can.
I'm like through the trend. I took like a 2-week break because I listened to it like nonstop for like 3 weeks, and I'm only, let's see how far I am into it. Halfway.
I'm definitely not even close to being that far, but I'll get there.
Well, we have like 3 weeks.
Yes.
I specifically pushed the episode back so we could have more time, but Matt will probably be joining. I don't know how far into it he is, but he said he'll read it.
I think he's read up to the second chapter.
So. That is so little of the book.
I know.
I'm 21 chapters in, and the chapters are long.
He says he will skim. He says he will skim.
If he's skimming, he's not going to be on the episode.
He's gonna skim.
Full disclosure. Because I'm not about to be sitting here explaining to him what happens in the book that he's supposed to be reading.
I'm sure he'll read the important stuff.
He's going to go on. What's the fucking website that everybody used in high school?
Oh, I don't know.
Cool.
I never used it,
SparkNotes.
so I don't know.
SparkNotes. He's going to SparkNotes it.
I don't think you can SparkNote the Wheel of Time.
You want to bet?
It doesn't have like a lot of general books. It's mostly just like stuff that everybody reads in high school.
Well, I found dragonmount.com, a Wheel of Time community.
I don't like that. Dragon Mount.
Hey, I gotta piss real bad. Can we end the episode?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, end it.
Yeah, no. We're gonna do that at the end of this month. So if you want to join the book club, read The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time. Shaun Saxum, follow him on socials because we love him and he's on the podcast. He's our new fifth host.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy comics, support comics. Don't just pirate them. Be a good boy and buy them and read them because the comic industry is ridiculously small for how much money the movies make. I think all comic books that are good should be purchased.
Unless you're broke, support your local library.
I was about to say that. I got mine from the library, and it was a perfect process. Free.
If it's a bad comic book, you can pirate it. I won't care. I won't say anything.
No, we're not endorsing that. If it's a bad comic,
I would never
get it from the library.
Never endorse piracy, but if I did, I would tell you to do it.
No. Library only.
I'm Dr. Manhattan. I'm 1 minute into the future. The podcast is over.